Right, thank you, Ms. Zana, for your introduction, a very warm and brilliant introduction. Thank you, everyone, and welcome to our first topic discussion on evaluation in the mid of pandemic. I believe that our panel guests enjoy your lunch, and I believe that no one have no lunch yet. All right. So we have 4 guest speakers here, one from Cambodia, one from Indonesia, one from Malaysia, and one from Singapore, and moderator from Cambodia as well. All right, so let me welcome Mr. Vong Sokhal. He's the chairman of We Trust Appraisal. Second, Mr. Muttaqin, president of Indonesia Society of Appraisers. Third, Mr. Lim Lang Hong, Executive Director, Raine and Horne International. Last but not least, Mr. Milton Tan, Founder and Managing Director of the Twin Pillar. Ladies and gentlemen, so our panel guests, so I would like you to introduce yourself. So we follow the alphabet of Asian. So Mr. Sokhal, take your floor first, and followed by Mr. Muttaqin, and then Lim Lang Hong, and the last one, Mr. Milton. Take your floor, sir.
Okay, good afternoon.
Mr. Sokhal, are you with us?
You can hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. So again, good afternoon. Your Excellency, Dr. Horne, Deputy Prime Minister of Economy and Finance, President of EVA, and also members, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sokhal, and thanks for Mesa for arranging this kind of opportunity for me to join this EVA 23rd events. And I'm as a chairman of We Trust Appraisal, and as well as chairman of SHG Finance. And I also hold a couple of independent directors in Wing Bank, and also in Daiichi Life Insurance, Japan. In addition to that, I also have various board advisory roles, including in the financial service, real estate, investment, insurance, and technologies. So thank you very much for my opportunity to introduce myself. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sokhal. So Mr. Muttaqin, please.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mesa. Good afternoon and assalamualaikum to all of participants. Our President Alpha, our panelists, our moderator, and all of the participants. Thank you very much for the opportunity for me to the panelists of this discussion. My name is Muhammad Adil Muttaqin. I'm president of Indonesian Society of Appraisal, or we call it MAPPI, Masyarakat Profesi Penilai Indonesia. And now I'm managing partner of the Muttaqin Bambang Purwanto Rojak Uswatun valuation company we established in 2009. Okay, I think my short introduction. Thank you.
Hi, Mr. Muttaqin. Yeah, we know your association very well, MAPPI. So now, Mr. Lim Lang Hong, take your floor, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you for this opportunity to meet all the people. Yeah, there's a challenge on the echo and the sound. And this morning I saw 800 over participants, but now it's only 482 for Yeah, afternoon, siesta time. I'm a graduate in land economy from University of Aberdeen. I'm already 62 years old, so looking at retirement very soon. And I'm director of Raine and Horne, which is one of the professional firms in valuation, real estate, property management, market studies in Malaysia. And I'm also in the exco of Persatuan Penilaian Swasta. We call it the I behind. We don't encourage drinking Pepsi, but we are MAPPI, which is not for Private Valuers Association. All right, let's have a good time together. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lian. Last but not least, our honorable guest speaker, Mr. Milton Tan, founder and managing director of Twin Pillars.
Thank you. And good afternoon, Mr. Chek Sok Nim, President of AVA. And good afternoon to all the chief delegates as well as distinguished guests. It's a pleasure to be invited just to be a panelist. Well, I run, basically I'm a founder and also the managing director for Twin Pillars. We do business assets valuations, specializing in plant and machinery. Yeah, so feel free, anyone who wishes to know more about plant and machinery, you may always, give me a call, have a chat, or send me an email. All right, so let the show begin.
Okay, thank you, our honorable guest speaker. So, like we known earlier that our guest speaker from 4 different countries, so we will understand deeply on the topic of valuation in the mid of pandemic, whether how it is in Cambodia and how it is in Indonesia, how it was happened during the pandemic in Malaysia, and how it was happened in Singapore. So first of all, I would like to invite Mr. Sokhal. I have 2 questions for you, but one I ask from once at a time. So Mr. Sokhal, how did we trust found out any challenging and opportunity during the pandemic for this 2 years?
So thank you, Mesa, again for your question. Let me prepare something. Okay. All right, so can everyone hear me? Can everyone hear me?
Everyone, our guests,
Can you
because
hear me?
we doing presentation online, so make sure that everyone connected to the internet, and yeah, be careful with your mic. You need to turn on before you talk. Thank you, sir.
All right. Milton, you see my slide?
Yes, I can see your slide.
Yep. All right. So thank you, Mesa, for your question on what will be the challenges and the opportunity during our COVID-19 starts in 2019. So as you have seen, we are no different with other countries when we in COVID-19 situation. So you may face a travel limitation, and same time you may have no in-person meeting. as well as certain businesses, the business operation will scale down, and another challenge will be you lack of skill and talent, resources, and many more challenges. In addition to that, there are also partly or fully locked down in certain countries and in the world. You might not be able to cross country, all right? And the worst case scenarios are happening as well in many countries. Certain business were closed. So there's many more challenges happening during the COVID-19 last couple of years. However, we also found there are a few opportunities that we have seen, and those opportunities you have seen that they are looking to have an eco credit needs. So meaning that a consumer may not be stopping asking for liquidity and financing. On top of that, certain developer, they would like to grow their eco development at a strategic areas to serve their consumer needs. Having said that, we have seen the opportunity of eco online services, whereby some of the businesses may not considering in their past operation. When the COVID-19 happened, everyone moved to online. And on top of that, they also providing the self-access eco services to their customers. And last but not least, we have seen a lot of requirement also that the property valuation from the independent body, like all of us here, because normally the buyer or seller may have a different perspective, like some presenter this morning have mentioned. But we are a professional real estate expertise, so we provide our independent opinion on the property valuation, so to serve their needs all that. So with this challenge and opportunity, we are looking to have some solutions to serve during the COVID-19. Okay, so that's all from me, Mesa. Thank you.
The challenging and opportunity during pandemic in COVID-19 that we just have found out. So my second question to you, so what are the solution and lesson learned from the pandemic that we just have found, specifically in Cambodia?
So, yep, we do find the strategic solution whereby I think many of us in the event have also put in place some of the new ideas to serve during the COVID-19 last couple of years. However, let us share what we have done, and before go into the detail, I would like to share a bit of the story behind. Actually, prior to this pandemic COVID-19, I had a lengthy discussion with my sincere partners, brother group chairman Kuivat. I think maybe many of you have known him. So he's the group chairman of our Zilenium group company. And we have discussed this kind of solution since last few years. What, why, how, when, and which the collaborative solution between the real estate and financial sector, including non-bank services. So he asked me when I could be handing with him to make the collaborative solution realized and growing. So that's my reason to shift my career from financial service sector to join my partner in last year, 2020. And after my over 22 years in banking, so I have been inside out with the banking sector. I've started 3 commercial banks in my past career, and I also conduct one of the merger and acquisition between microfinance deposit taking and a commercial bank in the kingdom. And it marked as the first history for National Bank Cambodia in 2015, 2016 to merge the 2 entities as a commercial bank. Okay, so let me go into what the challenge and opportunity and what the solution that we are thinking. So when I joined with my partner last year, so we come up with a solution called Indication Plus, and this Indication Plus is a platform, and we are seeing that the demanding of the real estate valuation is robust in the financial sectors. The reason because I have not been in the real estate, but I'm a customer. I'm using the real estate services. So I actually understood what the consumer are looking for. They are not looking to spend times to spend a lot of money or to go for this company and that company. They would like to have a certain platform whereby they can do their own information input and request, and they can get almost instant property valuation services. So we discussed and we come up with this Indication Plus platform. So this Indication Plus platform, we aim to serve financial institution in this market around 160 plus, and also agents who are serving the buyer seller, for example, around 1 million plus, real estate brokers, a company who providing consulting, advising, investment, real estate agents, as well as the individual that holding the property, and they would like to know what will be their property values. So we found there around 7 million plus property holders in the Ministry of Land, and so we see a lot of opportunity, and we need that kind of a robust platform to enable them to access. So how we go with, let me show you the next one. So we are having both a web platform and as well as app platform. Our web platform will be, so we will be serving the customers and who are required in a list of the property, who want to manage their internal users, for example. So we have user level management, and they would like to have the reports to analyze, to understand their performance, for example. And we do provide also the mapping of all the property listed in our platform, and we provide the reporting tool. So all of this separate our user. So for the web platform, the user will be for financial institutions, various consultant firms, real estate brokers, and the agent of the real estate.
Mr. Sokhal, can you have 1 minute to finish your, because we about 20 minutes now, and we have other 3 guest speakers waiting. Sorry.
So we also providing app platform, and the key feature will be around the individual customer holding their cases, and they want to have a reports, they want to have a map of their property, and they would like to analyze their property as well. So individual, these agents, brokers, and agents of the real estate will be able to use it, and we will be in minutes. We will issue the valuation reports to them. And last but not least, this is the benefit of the access. So both corporate and the individual will able to take this kind of benefit, self and direct access their service. They can have their value, location, and map property instantly, and they have a sale recovery history data. They can check what will be the last year or a couple of years of this property holding. They also can leverage the real estate marketplace when we roll out our marketplace next year. And also they can do a sell personal real estate and personal finance management in our platform. And last but not least, so they will be able to manage their own information and documents. So digitally, they can store their title deed, the property ownership title. So everything is in one. So they will be enjoy this kind of platform. So we have been rolled out for our web platform already early this year. And especially the financial institution have been using very effectively. So that's all from me, and thank you very much for your attention, and feel free to have any question.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Sokhal. We believe that we will have another question for you, but now I would like to move to Mr. Milton Zhang. I have one question for you. Can you during the pandemic 19, what are the top key challenges during pandemic 19 for valuation for the property? Can you share us? Mr. Milton, can make sure that your mic unmute.
Okay, I'm unmute. Okay, for challenges during COVID-19, I think all valuers, not necessarily just the real estate valuers, even plant and machinery valuers, business valuers, we also find it pretty challenging. So here are the 4 points that I would like to stress on. They are availability of market information, volatility, market volatility, validity period for your reports, as well as work arrangement due to travel restrictions. So these are the 4 key elements which I find that is really important. Now, for the availability of market information, what we are trying to say here is that the recent latest transaction may not necessarily reflect the market going forward, or perhaps when you are at the start of the COVID-19, let's say at somewhere around March or April, where everything was sliding, and your last transaction could be, towards the end of 2019, So things like that, you are actually still taking a pretty high transaction as part of a historical records while you are doing your valuation. So I think with that, I think it is not truly reflective. But and even if you are doing a valuation now in 2021 on the Singapore context, and if your transaction is like, let's say, end of last year, beginning of this year, that will actually give a slightly lower value. But of course, this is where you have to look forward into the future. And now that there's a certain recovery stage, but again, what is really intriguing and really irritating is that this COVID-19 causes the country to open up. Next thing, you have to close down and shut down and then open up again. And, it is pretty erratic in that area. All right. So, and that really causes the part of the market volatility as well. There's uncertainty in the market movement. are things going to be well? You look at the oil industry. Nobody knew that you will go negative in I think somewhere in April 2020. Then the next thing, there's supply chain issues, logistics issues and things like that, which affects the entire market. So the market trends may not necessarily be reflective in these 2 years. But again, it doesn't mean that we can't, use it, but use it with caution, use it with care. And of course, we definitely want to see a positive sign, that COVID-19 will be gone, hopefully soon. Somebody may just discover some new medicine for it. And now that I think most countries are quite fully vaccinated. So I think that would actually help in opening up of all the borders, right? And coming to the validity period, and because of all these lacking of information, market volatility, now in the past, your valuation report can be, let's say, last for 1 year. But I noticed in 2020 and even till now, every valuer has actually shortened the validity period to about 3 months, because what we can see now is right now, this period of time, between 3 to 6 months, that's about it. So I think for the purpose of the valuers being cautious about it, definitely we have to shorten the validity period of the valuation reports. And even the banks or even the stock exchange, they actually, do ask for certain updates on the valuation of the property, plant and machinery, and so on. So things like that, we often have to, we have been very busy, but unfortunately, because the market economy not doing well, I think the fees are pretty squeezed. All right. Working arrangement due to travel restriction, which is my 4th point. And if you notice, this has caused lots of challenges, especially for inspections. One moment everything is locked down. Next moment you are not allowed to visit certain places with more than 2 persons. You have to make all the necessary arrangement and so on. You got to wear mask. Sometimes you got to wear full PPE. Everything. So this has actually caused a lot of travel work arrangement and restriction. You are not supposed to work from office. You are supposed to work from home. And it so happened that based on my experience, I had a valuation in Vietnam. Luckily, we had our own internal partners to actually carry out the inspections for us in Vietnam. But even then, on a local, national basis, they even have different district lockdowns as well. So, and it so happened that during that period of time where we wanted to do inspection, my local partner over there said, "Oh, sorry, Milton, we can only start the inspection, about 2 weeks' time." And I say, well, no choice. Yeah. So with that, I think these are the 4 challenges. That I can
we have only
think
10 minutes more, and we have 2 guest speaker waiting. So, Mr. Milton, you have 1 minute to finish yours.
That's where I end. Yeah, that's right.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
No problem. Anything else?
No, I think we have for you only one question. Yes, and thank you for your sharing on the top key challenges during the pandemic. Yes, and thank you for your information that you're sharing from valuation in Vietnam and many key and very practical key challenges during the pandemic. Thank you, Mr. Milton, for your time. So related to this challenging, I would like to ask Mr. Lian Hong, Executive Director and Raine and Home International. Only one question for you. What is the method of valuation for the hotel after pandemic? Because There's no visitor for the last 2 years. So what is the method then, Mr. Lim Lang Hong?
Thank you very much. I tell you a real thing, right? The COVID-19 is just like you're in the room right now and the light is switched off. What are you going to do? That is COVID-19. You can't see anything. You don't know where to walk. And that's how we felt when the lockdown happened, when COVID-19 was announced. And we had a real situation where the client asked us to value a hotel, in fact, 2 hotels, and in Phuket and Singapore as well. So the valuation was done before COVID 2019. And then in 2020, they request for revaluation. You know, the panic, we are stricken.
Yeah.
You know, you are the valuer now. What are you going to do? There's no figures. You have to supposed to look at the accounts for the last 2 years, and 2020 is 0. You can't get anything. So we and our partners actually relook at earlier figures, and the consensus that we arrive at is that the profits method of the previous valuation, we do a discounting of some sort for the pandemic, but we have to back it up with the asset value, which is the cost. That means land plus building, you know, if alternative use, if there's currently you can use for hotel, maybe the property can be used for other things. But on the whole, I think all of us would agree that we are looking at a more optimistic future. That means that this is not going to last forever, hopefully. And we hope that we can come to a recovery. And in fact, as you know, Phuket is also open up on their bubble kind of economy and all that. Everybody wants to open up. But here and there, we do see option prices, you know, offer all over in Malaysia too. But as a whole, I think asset value still holds quite well in most ASEAN countries, including Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore, because landed and land-based assets, they seem to be able to attract the confidence. And so finally, we were able to relook at the previous accounts, although it was pre-COVID. We did a discounting on it, but not so much. You know, we give about 15 to 20% off the kind of occupancy rate and all that. But the real situation is that some of the hotels in Malaysia and Singapore, they finally had some income through their quarantine center. You know, they use it as quarantine center. So that was also a saving kind of method for them to recover some income. And some hotels are able to survive through that period of time. And therefore, our valuation, in a way, is not wrong when we say that you
have 30 seconds to finish. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I really I really love your sharing, and I would like to have 2 hours for discussion, but actually we have only 4 minutes for sharing. So please try to finish it, because you know, timekeeper just alert me every time. Yes.
Okay. So I think in whatever you do, please remain calm, whether it's COVID or other kind of circumstances. Don't panic, and then you'll be able to overcome your problem. So that's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Lim Lang Hong. I think everyone here, if you have any question, message him directly through Zoom, and can get the contact from Mr. Sokhal, Muttaqin, and Mr. Lim Lang Hong. So my last question to the President of Indonesian Society of Appraisers, Mr. Muttaqin, your advice: what should valuer do in conducting appraisal during the COVID pandemic to deal with the property that is the market uncertainty? Your floor, sir.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mesa. As we know, COVID-19 pandemic has a big impact for the failure provision directly or indirectly. It gives us a limitation on activity, limitation on inspection and access to the property, limitation interaction, intensive interaction with the client, limitation data and information, and limitation for the market data. This condition causes the uncertainty property market, which finally will influence the market value of the property will be valued. In this situation, failure are still expected their opinion always independent, objective, professional, and accurate. Regard with the pandemic COVID-19, International Valuation Standard Committee and many failure professional organizations like Appraisal Institute, RICS, API, Insight, PI, and include in Indonesia, MAPPI, and Center of Final Profession Supervisory has released a statement to alert the failure to be careful and prudent to do the assignment of this condition. So what should failure do in this situation? Failure have a professional duty to keep up to date with the latest government and regulatory requirement in their jurisdiction and locality. Failure have to pay attention in procedure and health protocol in conduct the valuation. So we have to take a responsibility approach to valuation, inspection, and investigation that prioritizes the safety of the general public and those undertaking the work. As we know, in the valuation has a three-step activity. The first is define scope of work. Implementation include inspection, investigation, data analysis, use of the methodology, and the third is in reporting. In every step, we have to careful and prudent to do this work. In the scope of work, usually if we get requests from client to do a valuation, we have to ensure the scope of work. Ensure that is there any limitation to do site inspection of the property? Is the property can be inspected or not? The second, we must ensure the availability data and information of the valuation object. And then we have to ensure the availability data and information related to the object. The limitation of the nature and context extent of the value work, including any restriction on inspection, should be specified and agreed in the term of engagement or in the scope of work. If we are unable to form opinion of the value from the information collected and provided, in which case they should, we must decline the instruction following an appropriate discussion with the client. This condition, if we have no confidence to do the valuation, we must decline the instruction. Then failure should carefully consider the liability under any instruction, including whether this is impacted by any limitation, restriction, or assumption. Some failure may be choosing to limit their liability where they are providing the restricted services. In the implementation, including inspection, including data compilation and analysis, if the object of valuation limited inspection, the failure has to state within the scope of the assignment or in the approved minutes by the parties. If we can do the inspection, we can do a desktop valuation with a limited valuation. This can be done if we do the reappraisal. For the new appraisal, we have to state this is the limiting valuation. Related to the limited market data, COVID-19 impact the situation of change of economic and finance. It's had an effect on uncertainty data and indicator of finance and economic. So valuer can use secondary data accessed by electronic media or virtual, or the analysis has to be done carefully.
All right.
Yeah. If the object of valuation can be inspected and verified, valuer can categorize the valuation to limited valuation.
Okay.
It has to follow procedure in valuation standard. All we have to follow the standard.
Okay.
In use of assumption, valuer must be careful in using assumption and always state limitation. Is there any influence considered or not?
Okay.
Yeah, this limitation must be informed in the appraisal report.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It needs to be statement in the scope of work and valuation report if there is no certainty of the value. But the whole process to determine the assumption must be comply with the valuation standard and best practice reference applied.
Okay, Mr. Muttaqin, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. I believe we have many follow-up questions on this topic because COVID-19 during this 2 year, our Asian property market, it is like it's still it has degrees of buying, and no one in the Asian report, no one in Asian that the market can be better than the other. Most of us are stuck in the market. But anyhow, I think everyone, ladies and gentlemen, in here or the guest speaker outside or the people from Asia, if you want to have any question, please ask them. Go to their websites, go to their contact, or can go to his own channel to connect to ask further information. I believe that our 4 guest speakers really have a very precise and concise information for you. But I would like to end our panel discussion. And before we ending, can our technical team make a photo for us? Yes, before ending, right? Yes, a very good thing. Yes, no picture, no proof. Mr. Muttaqin, am I right?
Proof to who?
Okay, thank you so much. So our guest speaker later on, she will tell you that she will give you the letter of appreciation. So stay tuned on that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.